child parliaments, and they take up various issues. And then everybody, these ministries will bring various issues, and they are asked, what do you observe in your place? And that also they can bring there and say, this is the problem we find, what can we do? And they discuss about it and then see what they could do about it. If they have a solution that they themselves could manage, they do it themselves. And if it is they cannot manage, they approach others, and local governance leaders, district collectors, even ministers. They take memorandum and so on. And then they succeed quite often.
Yes.
Okay. And when they succeed, they feel a sense of fulfillment, a sense of worth, a sense of pride. They feel happy, and others also appreciate them, and that gives them a kind of a taste in doing things for the wider good. And that's the kind of an orientation we try to build in these people. And we have very many success stories. You see, when children sit together, this has happened in very many children's parliaments. One of the problems, they say, we don't have drinking water, the water is dirty, and what shall we do about it? And then they discuss about it, and then say various options, they choose one option, and then can we do this by ourselves? If there are options which they can do by themselves, they do. Otherwise they say, can we collect money and build a kind of what is that system in our village, or can we approach the panchayat? We have one very interesting story that has been repeated, but still it is worth. You see, we have these photos of this water tanks built by children. Built means children, this is collect money.
Wonderful.
And in one are similarly water pictures of huts and houses built by children for the abandoned old people. Some blind people or old ladies, abandoned nobody. These people take it upon themselves, collect money, give their work, and get that the person has something to place to stay. One classical example we repeat more or less, but this is very interesting, because in one village, children are made to stand outside the classroom for a few days consecutively. Then the children's parliament there discuss about it. That time it was not in the school, in the village. And then they said they come late. Then why do they come late? Because during rainy season the water gets accumulated, and without adult support they cannot cross. And this is not their mistake. Why should they be punished for a mistake that's not theirs? Then what could be the solution? They say, only a bridge could be the solution, nothing else. Then what shall we do for that? They discuss, they say, we will make a memorandum to the panchayat. They go to the panchayat, and they said no. They also go to the village panchayat grama sabha meetings. They went there, and one of the boys reporting to me, they didn't take us seriously. They thought only we were children, but we didn't give up. And they persisted and persisted. When children persist, others become, defenseless.
Yes.
At the end, they sent a project to the government, and some 54,000 rupees in India. And then they get that, and when this taking place, children go there, stand as supervisors, and then they have the pictures taken there. So like this, they take up various issues: street lights, access roads, facilities in schools, and then someone they call, in India we have this, patta. Patta means that land
Yes, the registration of the
ownership
land,
registration,
yes.
like that. Some of the house, they take up the issue, take it to the collector. In one district, the collector took it upon himself. Every month, first Sunday or so, Sunday evening, he would call them 1 hour or so. Children parliaments could come with, and he would interact with them, and they will bring the issues. And when the children come, he gives priority to those issues. Problems get solved, and so these people become affirmed. And in one place in Andamans, island, and one mountain top area, no facility. And then the children, we started children parliaments. They printed their own stationery, and then rubber stamp and everything like that. And they were discussing, we don't have this facility, this facility, this facility. Then they wrote, we don't have this facility. So they understood that top officer in that island, some lieutenant or something they call it. Sorry. And then he sees that, he is taken up by that. Children, they say these things are not available. He orders that things are done on a war footing. In no time people come and everything is solved. And the people say we have to salute our children. We didn't have water, we didn't have access roads, we didn't have this facility, that facility. Now everything is solved. Because children. So like this they take up such a lot. They have stopped child marriages and brought back, drop out children to schools, stopped child labor. In some places they have got, even with adult support, villages declared liquor sale free.
Okay.
So various things like that. We have plenty of stories like that. Now these things, children learn doing, enjoying these things means they create a new culture. And our present, we federate these things, children's parliaments at various levels, state level and then national level, like that. And then our present national child prime minister is one girl called Swarna Lakshmi. And this girl has come to UN here and also I think Geneva 3 or 4 times, more than 4 times. And then he speaks at various meetings like this. And then she made a representation that the UN takes steps for a world parliament of children. And for all this, this girl is visually disabled. And this girl was able to come up. Others could see the value because it was small level structures at every level. So the socio-curative process, she gets identified in spite of this problem. And so she is emerging as her ambition now, she says, I want to become the General Secretary of UN. And she might become. That leadership. Like this we have so many children turning away from a sense of helplessness, kind of confusion, and kind of a loss of direction, taking life seriously, and then becoming more serious about learning about issues. Because I ask people, suppose a child is given a ministry, what happens to that child? Next time he has to come for the meeting, neighborhood meeting and ministry meeting. And then he has to say something, So what will he do? He will go and ask others, consult others, and then collect newspaper cuttings and things like that, and read about it. And he goes more focused on one particular issue, because more studious. We had one school in Trivandrum, near Trivandrum. There the phenomenon was, these private schools, elite schools came up. All the well-to-do sent their children there, or the leftovers were coming to one government subsidized school. And the motivation was not high. And that school was known for indiscipline, notorious. And then we went and started there. Within 1 year, the entire situation changed. The principal gave an video interview, how it has changed the entire atmosphere. And that school prime minister, besides neighborhood prime minister, they are school prime ministers also, no? And he came for we caught him for one meeting of the people involved in education activities from 6 or 7 districts around Trivandrum. And he said, earlier we did not know what discipline was. Now we are in charge of discipline and we do a good job.
Nice.
The work of the teachers gets,
Amazing.
and it goes in a kind of we're convincing, cajole. It's a learning process rather than just top down.